Guys, Happy New Year. This is the first video that I'm shooting in the new year. Why am I sitting down? Because I had a little surgery on an old injury that I had. Things are locked down. We're not able to go to work, so I decided to get it done now. So, on to the topic of what we're going to be talking about today. A lot of you guys that are watching the videos that I've been putting out are overachievers, whether it's in fitness and health and business, and that's great. And a lot of you guys DM me and ask me about reading books. What do I think about this? What do I think about that? So I'm gonna be talking about when I read a non-fictional book, right? So it's maybe lessons and principles and valuable nuggets that the author is putting down on a page, which I'm hopefully taking that, if I agree with his principle, and applying it to my own life to make the quality of my life a little bit better. So let's get going. First one that I hear a lot and I see a lot on social media is reading 52 books a year. They apparently said that the average CEO reads 52 different books a year. I happen to know a couple of them, and they definitely don't read 52 hard-covered, soft-covered books a year. They may read a lot of reports and all that kind of stuff, but that's just a myth. And when we're looking at 52 books a year, I'm not sure about everybody else, but if the actual books that we're trying to read are not fictional, so you're not underlining, so you are underlining and you're trying to apply those lessons and better your life, then I don't know anybody that can read that speed, digest the book, and say, this is exactly how I'm going to apply that to my life. Maybe there's some people that are far smarter than me, but this is not something that works for me. So I'm really looking at quality over quantity, okay? If you ask me, 52 books a year is more quantity over quality. So I really take my time when I read books, and you're going to see why a little bit later on. The next thing is, if you're talking about 52 books a year, I can guarantee you that not all 52 books are good books, and even if they are good books, everybody goes through different stages of life. That book right then and there may not speak to you like it will 10 years from now. And I know you guys exactly understand what I'm talking about. So before I started the business, I used to read a whole lot of business books. And it just got me fired up to make a whole lot of money and all that kind of stuff when I was much younger. But now when I reread those business books, they actually talk about useful things, how to treat employees, how to build a team, morals of a company, ethics, principles. Now you're talking to me, since I'm a business owner, I can really apply. So that's a long-winded answer, but basically, if a book is not good, you don't have to finish it, okay? So don't keep count of how many books you're reading a year. Instead, what I do is I take notes on the books, and I take my time reading the book, digesting the book, processing what I feel the author is trying to tell me. And I do this in two forms. The first one I do, I'm a little bit crazy here, is I highlight. Okay, I highlight them. Then after each chapter, I word process them. And the reason I do that after each chapter is I have tried to do it after I finished reading the entire book, and I just didn't feel like doing it. It just took too much time. So what I did is I broke it down into chunks. Every time I finished a chapter, right, we're not looking at quantity anymore. Take your time, read over your notes, type those notes out, and before you know it, once you finish the book, you have a little maybe a couple pages of notes, you staple it together, you maybe, if you're as crazy as me, even write a book review on how you are going to apply those principles to your life. The reason I do that is because I want to have better recall. I want to be able to remember that information a little bit better. I want it to stick with me. How often have you read a great book and not been able to remember like a tenth of the principles that they're talking about, right? So that's what I do. I finish the book, all the notes are ready, word process form. I write a review on how I'm going to use those principles. That way I remember it a little bit better. I print it out and I put it inside the book. So therefore, when I go to my 1 day a week, which I'm going to talk about right now, 1 day a week, you guys are going to review X amount of books notes, right? So now you don't actually have to read the entire book. You can actually read over the notes that you've written, okay, 1 day a week. So I believe in bettering yourself every single day, right? But you don't have time, or I don't believe in just reading new stuff, reading new stuff. The whole point is to be able to use the lessons in your life. So Sunday is my day. I spend about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how much time I have that day. And I review the notes of previous books that I've written. So guys, I know this is a long-winded answer, but this is something I'm deeply passionate about because I want to think of myself as someone who wants to better themselves all the time. I'm sure you guys are overachievers. We're all looking to better ourselves every single day. So this is how I go about digesting books.